Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of what I'm going to call Rant Wednesdays. This will be a little extra to the podcast where I will be coming up with different topics every Wednesday, hence the name, to talk about. I'll be going through ones that I can think of and also asking AI and see what they come up with. I like to talk about things. I can go on for hours and hours, but I'll try and keep these to around 20-25 minutes. So, first go, let's see what AI can come up with. So I've asked, can you give me a random topic to talk about for either anime, films or TV shows? What have we got? So, first is, does animation quality matter more than story for enjoying anime films or TV shows? So I think yes. There's been so many times where I can watch a film and it doesn't matter if there's not really a story or there's story's not that great. And you'll just be captivated by the visuals. It'll just be so good that you don't even care that what you're watching is, very generic. Like, oh, he's going to go down the road, he's going to go to the castle, he's going to save the princess. You don't care because it is a visual masterpiece. And there's other times I've watched some films films, TV shows or anime that I've literally turned off within 5 minutes because as soon as you just see something and you can't look past it. I don't know if anyone's seen Flow. Flow is an animated film about a cat, and it just kind of goes through this world. It's like, I think it's post-apocalyptic, and he just meets all these other animals and goes on a crazy. I can't even remember what the story is, but it's beautiful. It's a weird kind of game art style, but it's beautiful, and my daughter loves watching it, and I don't mind watching it with her, so that's always a bonus. Another one I'd go for would probably be Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away. You could replace that with almost any Studio Ghibli film. Big Ghibli fan. Just the art style, it's just beautiful. There's some things in it where, like the scene where he's flying up and then all the little paper things are chasing him all around. Like, it just looks great. And then when it's just the way that he flies in and then she shuts the door and they all whack against the door, it's just amazing how they made like this paper flow and like I don't know. I'm just going on about paper now, but it's just so many things that like when he after that point where he's bleeding from his mouth and the way that they make liquid come out, like the blood's coming out of his mouth, and then when he throws up the little creature thing, all of this the textures that they can get in this animation style is amazing. And you just sit and watch it and before you know it, it's over. And it's one of those I'm going to watch with the kids, grandkids, anyone, anytime. If someone says, hey, do you want to watch Howl's Moving Castle, do you want to watch Spirited Away, it's always a yes every time. I mean, it has got a good story, but the main thing is the animation. Like if that film was made but with subpar animation, like it's 10 frames a second and it's stickman, you won't watch it. You won't watch it for that because the story's good, but it's not to the point where you'd watch it regardless of what it looks like. I'm going away from anime for a second. This is going to be very anime heavy because it's animation. A Scanner Darkly. This is one of those films that not many people have seen. Whenever I mention it, they've never seen it, but it's Keanu Reeves, and I suggest it when people say they like him. It's a very strange film. I can't say I remember much about the plot. I know it's some weird undercover FBI thing, but that was one I remember watching it the first time and putting it on. This was back when it was DVDs, and I just bought it because I was like, oh, Keanu Reeves, cool. It looks like it's animated. I remember putting it on and thinking, whoa, what is this? And I think it was my first time seeing a film done with rotoscoping that way. And I like that film because of how it looks and how they managed to get away with that. I mean, shooting basically a whole film and then just editing over the top of it sounds insane. I don't know how they even got it made in the first place, especially with the weird story as well. One of the main things I remember from it is the weird like bodysuits they wear that kind of scatter so you can't tell who they are. I might have to look at behind the scenes and see if I'm sure there's a making of video, but it's baffling. Like, how did they even do that? It's like constantly changing the faces and the looks and the skin color, and it's just mental, absolutely mental film. It's one that I would not watch on drugs. Let's just say that. So the next two films I'm going to talk about is more CGI. So it's type of animation. And I'd say is bad. So the new Superman and Fantastic Four films, I don't know what it is with new films these days. They're just, the CGI has gone backwards. How does it look worse? We're in 2025. How can you make a film in the 90s like Jurassic Park that has better, more realistic CGI than 20 years later? It's baffling to me. My main thing with it, I mean, you know, they've done some cool stuff with that probably gets unnoticed, like in the new Superman film when he punches a bad guy and his tooth flies out and bounces off the screen. That's cool, and you won't be able to do it without CGI, maybe. But everything else, like the weird monster that he fights, it looks like it's made of Play-Doh. Like it looks real but not real. It's like the uncanny valley kind of thing. Like, I know it's not a real creature, but it's basically like an axolotl kind of lizard thing, but it doesn't look like I could touch it. I think that is the thing that animation and CGI is, if you can watch something like Jurassic Park and you can imagine that you could touch that dinosaur or that creature. And I don't know, with these massive $1 million budgets, how have they made something that literally looks like a toy? Like, it takes me out of it. Like, something that probably took, you know, some talented people, not saying they're not talented, but took them that long, and they finished it and went, cool, that looks great. Really? Like, I've done art all my life, and I'm very critical of my own work. So I'd literally sit there and go, that looks weird. I'm not going to present that as my work. It's the same with Fantastic Four. Like, I feel like the best looking part was maybe the Silver Surfer. Like, but still, it's the same effects from 1990 when they did Terminator 2. You put them next to each other and you'd be like, oh cool, yeah, is that from 2 years after Terminator 2 or 3, 4, 5 years? You won't go, it's 20 years new. I would expect it to like the reflections, you'd expect to see everything in the reflections. And you know, it's ray tracing. You got ray tracing in games, and you watch it and you're like, there's a puddle on the floor that will literally reflect a butterfly flying past or a bead of sweat, and you can see something reflecting in it. Why have we got all these millions and millions and billions that we're spending on films, and they can't even do that better than they can in the 90s? Does it make sense? But anyway, that's definitely a big part of the rant. I just hate CGI nowadays. I'd much rather something go practical. It looks so much better. I'll carry on the theme of bad animation. Go back to anime. Big Dragon Ball fan, or was a big Dragon Ball fan. Dragon Ball Super. Oh my god. what were they thinking? There's so many of the episodes that, you know, you can pause them on frames and they're awful. I know how they do animation, and fair enough, frames that go in between main frames might not look good, but you're watching it and you can instantly see it. It's these frames that go in between that might not be as detailed, that might not look as good, they shouldn't stand out. You should not be watching it in movement and going, this looks like, you know, Goku looks like he's made of slime. And the thing is, they did a film that looked great and then recapped the film in a show and made the animation 10 times worse. I just don't get it. It used to be, you know, the art style itself for Dragon Ball has got worse. It's very plain. It's very mushy. Is that the word? Is that a word for animation? Mushy? It's I don't know, it's flat. There's not much detail, there's not much shading. Like, my memories of watching Dragon Ball Z, there was, you know, scenes where they'd be stood there and it's like something's flapping in the wind, it's got shadows on it, there's loads of lines on the face to show detail. Now everything's like one colour. It's like they'll just have the skin, pink skin colour or whatever, and that's it. They'll have their eyes and the mouth. That's it. Nothing else. No like scratches on the face because they've literally been attacked by someone who can punch a planet in half. Like, it just hurts me. I'd be watching it and, you know, waiting every week to watch the new episode of Dragon Ball Super and just be disappointed. Not only in what I consider not great writing, but the animation. Because like I said, if the animation is amazing, you can look past it and go, yeah, I suppose like that's not very realistic. It's not great, you know. He's powered up again. He's got Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super. Like, you won't care because you go, that was incredible. It's like rainbows and fire and like sparkles and stuff. It would look great, and you won't care. You won't care about it. You can ignore the plot points because you go, that is incredible animation, but it's got neither. Like, the animation for any anime can make up for a lack of story, which will go into something else I'm going to talk about. But Dragon Ball Super, it ain't it. They need to invest in it. Dragon Ball is one of the biggest money makers that has ever come out of Japan. It makes so much money. Everyone knows Dragon Ball, and they can't even do it justice. Which goes for Marvel, you know, biggest franchise, spend all this money, CGI's crap. Another one that's bad is Berserk. I love Berserk. And the 90s, 2000s, I think it was, maybe 2010, I can't remember which year it was that they brought out. There's the original series of movies that have that classic 90s anime feel. Gritty, dark, detailed. Then they released 3 films that were from the Golden Age arc, and that animation kind of cleaned up and brought it in and put a little bit of CGI animation in. But they're still good. They still look amazing. Like, when the eclipse happens and it all goes absolutely mental, and it's no spoilers, but there's plenty of blood and guts and crazy stuff happening, monsters. Looked amazing. Then they finally brought Berserk back, and I was so excited. I was like, yes, they can carry it on. When I found out it wasn't just a remake of what they've already done, I was so happy about it. But then it came out, and it was CGI. Why? It's animation. It's 2D. It should be flat. 2D, not 3D. Whatever, cube, square. Why? It looks awful. It felt, every single move that happened was so janky. And not to mention, I feel that when they do 2D animation, they have to plan it out very carefully. You know, they'll draw it beforehand, and there'll be this scene happens, this scene happens. It's from this person's perspective. They go over there, they switch around, and they move. With 3D animation, they can just do a 3D model and go, cool, just pan it round, go here, move the virtual camera around. And if they don't know what they're doing, it looks crap, which it did. There's like scenes where he's swinging his massive sword. There's no weight to it. It doesn't feel like he's swinging a sword that's literally called a slab of iron. It doesn't feel like he's swinging a massive sword around. He's just flinging it around very jankily. Awful. Absolutely awful animation. And it doesn't matter how good the story is, because Berserk is so dark and great with the way it works. And I feel like they even picked a bad arc to start on. They could have picked right at the start and carried on through. I'm glad they didn't do the Golden Age arc again, because that's all everyone ever goes on about or wants animated or talks about. I want some of the later series, which they did, but they just picked a random point and just picked off. Why didn't they go from the beginning up to the Golden Age? And then they could either skip the Golden Age, or they could have redone it again, but not CG, which is, yeah. So, yeah, that's my Berserk rant. Horrible CGI animation. Sometimes it works. Very rarely I've seen stuff and I've gone, whoa, this is good CGI animation. There's a few, like the Godzilla Netflix films. I could do with those, but Berserk, awful CGI anime, awful. Let me move on to a bad CGI film. So this is, you know, it's a meme at this point, but The Mummy 2 with the Scorpion King, with The Rock. Is it The Rock? Is it supposed to be The Rock? I'm not sure. That, he just, once again, he looked like Play-Doh, but I wouldn't be surprised if they remade The Mummy again, and brought the Scorpion King in. You know, The Rock might want some more money, so they'll do it. They will probably make a CGI model of The Rock as a Scorpion King again, and it will look the same, because they all look like Play-Doh now. So, Mummy 2, Scorpion King, bring it back, make it, still looks as bad. It was just, I know it was early days of CGI, but was it finished? Did they, you know, get halfway through and go, yeah, it sort of looks like The Rock. Yeah, just whatever. You know, it's not real. It sort of looks like him, or maybe I suppose. You know, if you remember the flashbacks, that's what he looked like. He had the ponytail. Yeah, that must be The Rock, because it does not look like The Rock. I'm telling you now, do not look like The Rock. And that took me out of the movie. So that is the thing of animation. It can take you out of the film. The rest of that, you know, like the Mummy films, they're not known for being great. You know, they had the face and the sand thing, like that. It was okay. You know, it served its purpose. It wasn't like I sat there and was like, what is that? I was like, cool, yeah, it's a face. I get it, it's a face in the sand. But then the Scorpion King bit, when it came out, it just, even back then, I sat there and was like, whoa, okay, what is that? That is horrific. Yeah, it can completely take you out of a film. The CGI is awful. And I'm going to finish off on 2 animes that I think have got great animation. I'll start with an older one, not old, but yeah, it is old now. I'm old, so I suppose it's kind of old. Attack on Titan. Amazing. The things that they did with animation, it was baffling. Like there's the scene when they're sliding down a roof, and it like goes and pans into it. It's amazing. It's like one of those where Attack on Titan's got so many scenes in it, apart from the story beats that kind of like, whoa. There's animation bits. I literally paused it, and like I remember rewatching it with my partner, and just going, it's like, babe, stop what you're doing. Get off your phone, babe. Look at this, and rewind it and watch it again because it's so good. Like the way they did the swinging, it's like Spider-Man smooth. It was so good how they did the camera work. They'd be swinging and the camera would pan round. Like, I think it's the scene where they're fighting the Colossal Titan and Eren like basically has to obviously get behind him to cut his nape. That was a good scene. I love, and the way they did the steam and everything. Like some of the most amazing bits are when Mikasa or Levi are fighting, and they're just like Levi turning into like a Beyblade, like, and just, oh my god, it was incredible. Like the way they got motion in that anime was incredible. The angles, even the scenery, like being able to see what it was like in like even the grass waving and stuff, this the beauty that they'd show in something as brutal as Attack on Titan. It was great. Like they really did show how well they could animate in that show. I think it was the last 2 seasons or the final season, they swapped studios, and I noticed the style and everything wasn't as great. I think what's funny is I'm sure it's a studio that's actually done incredible stuff. So it's weird that they swapped for the last season, because all the way through it was great. And they thought, hey, let's change it for the final 2 seasons. Why not? Yeah, Attack on Titan, story's incredible, but backed up by an incredible animation team. And my final pick, which is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where I said about the story not being, doesn't have to be A plus top tier story writing. Solo Leveling. This is quite a new one, and anyone that's seen it knows that the story isn't, the story's not the draw. Literally, I can explain it in 1-2 sentences. Weak guy gets power, levels up solely. That's it. He's just a dude who gets a power, gets super strong and fights. That's it. That's literally all it is. The overarching little story beats don't really matter. Like it's always goes somewhere, fights and does some crazy stuff, then that's it. He goes, cool, next one, go in, kill someone, goes, arise, and then moves on. That's pretty much it. Screams a lot, and that's pretty much the story. But Solo Leveling is beautiful animation. Like watching the fight scenes, it's crazy chaotic. They're literally like bouncing off the walls everywhere, blood, like explosions, fire, massive fireballs, like just, oh man. And the voice acting, like the English voice actor for Jinwoo is spot on. What a bloke. But that is a classic example of the story isn't the best. I'm not going to sit there and say he's great. I don't even remember any of the characters' names apart from Jinwoo. He's literally the only one that I remember. He's the main character because that's all it is. Solo Leveling. That's just him. But the way that they've animated it makes me want to watch it. Like every episode, it's not. It's not because I want to know what's happening in the story. It's like I want to see what he does, like how he's going to do it, because I want to see how they animate it, how good it looks. And that's it. That's the end of the first episode of me ranting on about a random topic. We'll see what the next one entails. Hopefully this is going to be something that people like and they can listen to me rant on the way to work, or if they want to sit on a Wednesday when these are going to come out and listen to me rant then. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got more content coming, and look out for the other 2 videos that are going to be coming out weekly, starting whenever this comes out. So like, subscribe, please.